Hi everybody, we're Till and Chris, co-founders of Maya, a project financing marketplace for nature-based solutions. We're solving the world's most pressing capital allocation problem and are unlocking a gigaton of high-quality supply for carbon markets. Nature-based solutions are projects from the subsegments of forestry, soil and ocean-based projects, and these projects generate carbon credits for voluntary carbon markets. The carbon credits generated by these project types face a supply shortage on carbon markets because of their high quality and favorable co-benefits. They also have the potential to deliver a third of all necessary emission reductions until 2030, so we need to scale up projects in these markets. Project developers need upfront financing to launch more projects and bridge the time gap until these projects actually issue credits. If we take a look at the project financing life cycle of these projects, we can see that project developers typically finance the beginning of the project off their own balance sheet and then sell the credits generated down the road to corporates. In between these two stages, there's a 3 to 4 year time gap where project developers need financing to go through certification and do the ongoing project operations. This is where institutional investors come in and offtake project carbon credits by doing long-term offtake agreements and are actually securing carbon rights to sell later on to corporates down the road. We are focusing on the relationship between project developers and institutional investors. The inefficiencies in this early-stage project financing are leaving many projects stuck in fundraising. This is mainly because project supply is fragmented across the globe, and the data exchange and due diligence processes between these two parties are heavily manual and time-consuming. We're launching Maya to provide institutional investors with access to high-quality project opportunities and digital risk assessment. On the other hand, project developers need to provide their project data to us only once in order to reach a broad range of project investors. We have launched Maya after only 6 weeks, working closely with top-tier investors to match their due diligence process and build our digital platform. The projects on our platform are listed anonymously, and investors need to request access to these projects, so project developers always stay in control over who sees their project data. Once investors have access to a project, they can see all necessary data for an investment decision in a structured deal room, and for example can see the technical assessment of the project, which is based on the projected emission reductions of this project, and the future unit economics of this project in a financial model, and even play with price assumptions in the markets. Investors are already on the platform and are spending multiple hours a week over many sessions already looking at deal rooms we provided.
Thanks, Chris. So now is the right time to build Maya, as investment in nature-based solutions is expected to triple until 2030. So there's a lot of dry powder, a lot of money in the market that investors need to allocate, and we're helping them to find the right projects. Looking at the competition, we see that there are a lot of startups focused on the later stages of those projects, where the projects already generate credits, so they're building carbon credit marketplaces. But we think to unlock new supply, you need to actually focus on early-stage project financing, and this market is still very much blue ocean. Looking at our competitive edge, this basically brings us a 4 to 5 year advantage to our competitors, since we work with the developers from day one. Looking at the traction that we could build in the last 6 weeks since launching Maya on the demand side, we already managed to close 3 investors that are now on the platform and sourcing for projects. To give you an example, one of our customers is a London-based fund that manages over 100 million euros in assets and is especially focused in forestry investments. Looking at our supply side traction, we received over 25 project proposals, so developers that want to work with us, and we already managed to onboard 7 of those projects that are now live on Maya. Those 7 projects in total have a funding need of over 70 million euros in total. Our business model is very straightforward. We charge a 2% commission on the investments that we facilitate. So looking at the roadmap and the months ahead, our focus is very much on supply acquisition. So in the first half of the next year, we're going to build a global team of origination and technical assessment experts that are going to help us to bring more projects to the supply side of the marketplace. We're also going to continue with our product development and build further due diligence and contracting and reporting modules for the investors on our platform. So we are the right team to build Maya. Chris, who leads fundraising, product and tech, has a background in law and software development and has built and launched similar products before. I have a background in strategy consulting and have worked with corporates on the matter of carbon credits procurement, so I know the market and I know the market participants. And we're backed by top-tier industry advisors and topic experts from the areas of voluntary carbon markets, venture builders, carbon finance and natural capital experts, and Earth observation experts. Together, we are confident to capture the early-stage market for nature-based project financing and restore nature at scale. So, we are fundraising in Q4. Reach out and we'd be happy to get in touch. Thanks. So prior to founding Maya together with Chris, I was working with corporates, especially on the carbon credit procurement strategy, so very much focused on the buy side of the market. And what we saw that prices were rising very fast and that the supply for nature-based credits was very short. So we dig deep into why developers are not developing more projects and why not more projects are being brought to the market. And we realized that a lot of developers struggle to raise early stage financing to actually launch more projects. Today, when a developer needs upfront financing and reaches out to investors and goes through their due diligence, it can take up to a year for them to actually raise their development budget. We talked to one developer that said they have over 40 projects in their project opportunity pipeline that they cannot develop because they simply don't have the time to reach out to all of those investors and go through the lengthy due diligence process. On the other side, we talked to the funds out there that are currently raising hundreds of millions of dollars to deploy towards NBS projects. At the same time, we reached out to all of those carbon funds out there that are at the moment raising multiple hundreds of millions of dollars to deploy towards early stage projects that have a really hard time identifying and assessing early stage opportunities in a very fast manner. So what we're doing basically is that we are accelerating the early stage project financing markets and help investors and developers to deploy early stage financing at a much quicker rate.
Yeah, so a few projects have actually been criticized heavily in these markets, justifiably so, because, for example, the way they measured additionality. And a few corporates on the demand side of the market have also been criticized, for example, for bad practices in their offsetting strategies. Nevertheless, voluntary carbon offsetting is a vital financing mechanism for projects delivering real environmental impact and supporting local communities that would otherwise not be financially viable. The projects on Maya are building supply for the future of carbon markets, and we take the responsibility that entails very seriously. We screen each and every project onboarded to Maya, and we are in contact with numerous initiatives in the market that are working hard to increase integrity in the carbon markets. Finally, Maya is actually meant to solve exactly these problems. Maya is helping investors analyze project opportunities that are promising future impact and is allowing better projects to reach the market in the future.
Yeah, so we have big plans for Maya. We want to become the world-leading platform for early-stage project financing for nature-based solutions. To do that, we're currently preparing our next financing round and starting to make hires on a global level, which is a lot of work, obviously. Besides that, we have two work streams that we focus on. The first one is supply acquisition. So we want to be the first ones in the market to know about new projects, and we're building a global team of origination experts to allow us to do that. Secondly, we are working hard on our product development side to allow investors to only fund the highest integrity projects on our marketplace. So we'll put additional efforts into further building out our products and help accelerate the early stage financing processes.